All right, welcome to Sunday mornings at PM and the AM right here on It's a Wrap Sports Network. We got Mike Laro and the closeted Mets fan, Pat Bernard.
Yeah, speaking of closets, hi Pat.
Hey, listen, you know what? Something had to work. I'm still going through, I feel like I'm in Louisiana trying to find the internet service. It's not the best, but you know what? I promised to the fans of PM and the AM, this is week number 3. You still haven't seen my face, but I will have things fixed by next week. And I promise I will. You'll see my mug. I look, Friday show. They're like, if things look good Friday, what can he just figure things out? I don't know. I'm a lost cause. You know what I mean? That's what a lot of people adapt me in. I'm a lost cause to the world. But
Agreed.
yes. But Mike, there are a couple of things that are going on in Philadelphia sports. One, I got to mention, Philadelphia Union take care of business last night. Tied now for first place. Ty Baribo leads the league in MLS with 11 goals. So they're doing their thing. But Mike, let's talk about these Phillies. Let's talk about, you know what? I think the Philadelphia Phillies front office listens to this show in particular because what's up, Adam?
Hey, Adam.
I think I finally have eaten my words. I think that Bryce Harper has shoved
that's many of
socks.
the things you eat generally. Let's be honest. What don't you eat? Let's a smaller list.
Yeah.
I feel like he's jammed a sock in my mouth because this guy has. I was down on him for the past 2 weeks. He's turned things around. Let's walk through the week, right? He won 2 for 3 yesterday, 3 for 4 on Friday, 2 for 3 in the day game, 1 for 3 in Thursday's game. I mean, this guy is producing, whether it's a double, home run, single, up the middle, how you want it. He's delivering. I mean, Bryce Harper looks really, really good right now.
Yeah, he is. And shocker. Shocker.
Yes, Adam.
Shocker that, Bruce is going to, find a way to straighten things out. It wasn't that long ago, right, that the Mets had a 5-game lead on the Phillies, right? Yeah, that's down to a 1.5 right now. Phillies 7-3 in their last 10. The only team that's been hotter than them has been those St. Louis Cardinals. If you take a look throughout the National League, the only team that's been hotter than the Phillies right now has been the St. Louis Cardinals. That's it.
And here's the other thing is the Phillies need to take advantage of the situation because right now the Mets are finishing up a series with the Yankees, then they move on to the Red Sox, and then they move on to the Dodgers. So we have to go for the sweep today and maybe take 3 to 4, if not all 4, of the Rockies.
Yeah. And like you just said, you won 6 out of 7 series right now. Not bad. And like you said, Mike, I don't think there's a team right now in baseball that's playing better than the Cardinals right now. But again, this is a team that's really, really putting it together. I mean, I know there were all some, don't you know? Like, I know there were some questionable moves with this Phillies team. But you know what? The guys are starting to come around. They're starting to hit. Guys are starting to produce. Top of lineup, bottom of lineup. Amanda Sosa is starting to hit well. Bryce Harper's hit well. A lot of guys are starting to hit well. And I'm going to ask you right now, and I'll ask you too, Al, is there anybody in your eyes a all-star valet right now on this team?
Kyle Schwarber is one.
Zach Wheeler.
And Zach Wheeler. Yeah. You know what? Jesus Luzardo. I think.
What's up, Frankie Beans?
And I can see maybe. I can even see maybe. What's up, Frankie? I can even see maybe Christopher Sanchez too. Just to give you guys a quick point right there, you said one of the hottest teams in baseball. Believe it or not, it's the Minnesota Twins right now. They're the hottest team. They are 10-0 in their last 10 games. Then it's the St. Louis Cardinals, and then the Phillies are tied with the Yankees, the Detroit Tigers, and Texas Rangers, all at 7-3. So there are the teams right now that have been playing the best over the last 10-game stretch in MLB.
Cubs are 9-1. I'm sorry, Cardinals are 9-1.
Right, that's what I said. They're number 2 behind Minnesota. So again, I feel like it's starting to come about. I mean, Rangers looking more and more comfortable pitching as the more starts he's getting. The only thing that I don't like is that you're starting to see, and this is my little fault with Robbie here, with the way he's going about this bullpen. Like, I'm starting to agree with our boy Mike Papernick, who usually checks in. Like, I'm starting to agree with him because, like, it doesn't look like they have roles.
Good morning, Ryan.
Yeah, listen, that's the one thing I think most people, if you love Robbie, if you don't love Robbie, or you're just kind of in between. Because listen, Rob Thompson, there's times he completely the decisions he makes is mind-boggling. And at the same time, I look at the body of work, and I can't deny that the man's done some good. Hopefully, the good leads to a championship. I mean, that's the key factor here. Where, how many players do we say they play so well during the regular season, but once it comes to the postseason, the things change. Like, I'll tell you right now, go back to that Mets series in October last year. I didn't like, and I don't understand why he flipped the bullpen up around. Went from guys who would usually close out the game, or the eighth, or the ninth inning guys, and put them in the sixth and seventh innings. I will never understand that. I will never get it. And I wish if he just did that, I think a lot of the heat would come off of. And listen, I think part of it a little bit is, like, take Romano, for instance. I think bringing Romano in there, they were trying to get lightning in the bottle with him in the beginning, and he was supposed to be your either 8 or 9 guy. And they're kind of using him that way, but it would be just smarter. Pick a person, make Alvarado the closer, and then you can fluctuate the 7, 8 guys a little bit. I'm okay with that a little bit. Doesn't always have to be the same 8 guy if there's like a lot of lefties versus righties, but if you just set the closer, for the love of Christ.
Right.
Well, you kind of just nailed it too, Al. You just nailed it. What's the main X factor? You lost Jeff Hoffman, and trying to replace that has been hard in that bullpen. Right?
I'm not. I'm going to pump the brakes on that one. Jeff Hoffman, I'm glad he left. Did you see what he's doing in Toronto? He's got like a 15 ERA this month.
No,
like,
but I mean,
I'm not. Trust me.
Yeah, but when he was here, though, he was an X factor. He was the big time player. Now out there. Yeah.
Think of it like a lineman, Pat. Sometimes take a lineman who does really well here, but then go like Vaitai. Take him, Halapula Vaitai. Like, there's a guy who was with the Eagles, led them to the 2017 Super Bowl, and filled in real well for one of the better linemen of all time the Eagles ever had, but then he went somewhere else and he was mediocre at best.
Right.
Because it's the supporting cast. Sometimes, when you have that 1-2 punch of Jeff Hoffman and Alvarado, there's a difference. What's the 1-2 punch in Toronto?
It's just him.
Correct.
It's just him. Like, so I'm sorry. To me, like I said, Pat, I disagree with you just a little bit. With that,
don't be sorry.
Yeah. What am I saying? I forgot the gloves are off.
Yes.
Yes. I'm sorry.
Everything's off here, Mike.
Patrick.
Oh.
This silver thing right here that doesn't have a background, it's my urn. It's called a coffee mug. No. It's nowhere near it. It's too early for that bullshit.
You look like Paul Bearer right there for a second with the urn. Undertaker.
Yeah, right?
Yes.
Oh, my God.
Yeah.
Back on track here, Patrick. Come on.
Yes. Ryan says, from watching the Phillies over the last 4 years, not by this year, I don't think the Phillies are made a World Series or making a World Series outside starting pitching.
Listen, I'm not. It's way too early to start looking and talking about that because, and I'll disagree with Ryan here too, is how many people saw the Mets at this juncture in May last year making it to the NLCS? Nobody.
Right.
Listen, the Mets could have got hot. Listen, they added Juan Soto, but we've dealt with Juan Soto and 2 other teams so far. So, like, it's not like this is like a mind-blowing – or 3 other teams. You're right, because of the Nationals. But, like, my point is I disagree with Ryan on this. And, I'm sure you guys want to get the excuse graphic up or the Homer. I'm waiting for it. I know the Homer, the no Homer fairy will come in here and start to try to silence me. But again, if I read this to anybody else who wasn't from Philly right now, and I said, you have Bryce Harper on this team, you have Kyle Schwarber on this team, you have Nick Castellanos on this team, yes, the starting pitching, and we're going to get more today. Today's a big day with Mick Gable coming in. This could be a glimpse into the future, or maybe a big piece of trade bait that brings the next big missing piece. Go ahead, throw it up there, whatever you want to do. But my point is this team is made to win the World Series. It has underperformed as a World Series contender. It hasn't overperformed as a non-World Series contender going into contending for the World Series. To me, that's a big difference. Neither one is a good thing because in the long run, we're here to win it all, 100%. But to sit here and tell me that you don't have the puzzle pieces, maybe not every last piece, but most of the pieces to build a championship caliber team is BS. I went into this season saying we did not need a bit like a Juan Soto piece. We didn't need another big bopper. I would have rather seen better bullpen pieces, and maybe because I'm telling you right now, it's just a matter of time before Justin Crawford gets here. It's a matter of time. We'll talk. I know we're going to jump into Aaron Nola. I'm not going to jump all over the place, but to sit here and tell me that this team doesn't have have a good amount of the puzzle pieces to put it together and win a title is foolish.
I don't know, Al, because there goes a couple things. One, who are they really beaten as a contender-wise? They've been playing all these bottom feeders as the last few weeks. I mean, in their at least these series. I don't see, I can't say that. Yeah, I can't. I mean, right now, look at we're beating up the Pirates. Or we're not. I mean, I know 10 kids on my street can beat the Pirates, but I mean, you got to play Colorado, stinks, and then you got to play who's after Colorado? The A's. A's are starting to fall apart. I don't know if this team you can really say. I mean, I need to see a bigger sample size when you play against the Mets.
Two things. Number one is yes, absolutely, they are playing right now, but so did the other teams. We played the Dodgers early on when the Dodgers were the hottest team in baseball, and the Phillies weren't. The Phillies were struggling out the gate, yet they still put a fight up against the Dodgers. Cardinals are a good team. Struggled against the Cardinals. I'll put it at that. But there's always going to be teams in the season that aren't going to be tough for you. The Mets, they struggled against the Mets. Absolutely. I think there's a little bit of a mental block with the Mets. I still think they're a better team than the Mets. But they played against the Diamondbacks, who are kind of up and down. Certain days are good and certain days they're not. And they played well against them. I mean, you can't take away from what they've done, and you can't get on their asses either about who they play. They don't set the schedule. You know what I mean? Like that's my thing is like I never understood this oh well they're beating bottom feeders. I mean, yes, they are beating teams at times that are not the greatest at all, but they're also playing the games against them. I'm not sitting here anointing them the World Series champs or the number one team to win the World Series right now. But to tell me that they're not in the conversation, that's where I get a little frustrated with.
Well, and Mike, you want to say something before I go on?
Yeah. Like, I don't want to hear this. The Phillies are not good against good teams. They're 500. Okay. And the teams that they played, when they played them, they're 500. Okay. That's including beating the Diamondbacks, beating the Dodgers, splitting with San Francisco. That's including losing to the Cardinals. They're 10-10 against winning teams. Like, you're supposed to beat up on the bottom feeders.
Yeah, and they got swept by the Mets, don't forget, too. I mean, they've had some struggles. But teams have struggles. That's going to happen. And, again, in May, we know nothing about any team in May. You know nothing about them. All you know is that, and Matty B said it himself, as long as you come into May 500 or better and healthy, you're in the right position in baseball. And the team's done that. And they're winning against teams that they should. And they're battling against teams they should battle against.
Well, somebody woke the bear. The bear has been woken. The bear has been woken.
I'm going to skip to him real quick just to see what he has to say.
Hey, there's got to be a pat.
So as long as we are facing teams like the Pirates in October, we'll be fine. Can't wait for the parade. It's not.
See? The mayor's woke up, and he's taking my side. I love it.
But here's my question to you guys. Again, what do you know? How many teams have you seen who looked really good in April, May, and even into June who fell off and don't make the playoffs?
That's the Pirates every year. That's the Pirates every year.
But I'm just saying, like, how many times you see teams that look just like the Mets did that in 2022. They were the hottest team in baseball. The Braves were trying to keep up with them at one point. We couldn't beat the Mets and then they lose that number one spot, fall and have to go to the wild card round and completely fall apart. It can happen. This is what I'm trying to say. I'm not saying to tell you blindly look at this team like there's nothing wrong with them, but I'm also trying to tell you don't act like this team is the Pirates or the A's or the White Sox or any of these other struggling teams out there. They're not there. They are definitely top 10 base team. They're in the top 10, and I could argue top 5 to 6 right there.
Well, Al, let's talk about one thing that is a big red mark, and I'm going to say Mike said it actually best. One pitcher in this lineup cannot pitch whether it's cold or nasty weather. It's got to be hot, humid for him in order to pitch. He is probably one of the worst pitchers in baseball right now. He's 1-7. Apparently now he's going to be missing 15 days. You know who I'm talking about, Aaron Nola. He's given up 59 hits, 35 runs, 11 home runs. I mean, what is going on with Aaron Nola? Because if the big picture is, if he's going to be the X factor heading in October when the weather starts to get a little cooler and the pitch gets a little shrinkage, what's he going to do?
Well, I'll tell you what, it's a little concerning. Considering he's got 5 more years on his deal. So that's a little concerning. And another thing that's going to be concerning is if you get guys that they're bringing up from the minor leagues, like if Mick Abel comes up and pitches a great game today.
Someone's in trouble for their job.
I don't know about that. They're not going to, but it's kind of alarming, really. It's like having I want to see what Mick's able to do today. I'm not even talking about the Aaron Nolan thing because we can see what it is. It's a facade. It's in his head. The Phillies are sitting him down for 2 weeks.
This right ankle injury came out of nowhere. I've said it. Everybody said it. It's not like it's a genius thing out here to point out that he needs some time to get his brain right, whatever it is. I mean, I'm not sold on saying Aaron Nola is just hot garbage now and he's done and he's, yesterday's news and all that. But maybe he needs a stint, some time off to, just like you would sit a batter if he's not hitting well. I don't know if it's the hot or the heat or whatever makes the difference with him. There is something off. Hot and heat don't have anything to do with velocity. Velocity is an issue with him right now. His movement has been lackluster on his pitches. So whatever it is, but take guys like Romano. Here's Romano. That guy I was one of them. Ready to sell that guy right down the river for a bag of balls. Get rid of him. But they looked at it. They saw something wrong with him. They changed it. And so far he's definitely coming around to being the pitcher that they were hoped. Ryan here real quick. Ryan's saying here, the Phillies are the last 4 years have been too streaky of a team. It is very bad as a whole when they are struggling. It's completely team always struggling. And no hitters pick one another up. It's complete team struggle simultaneously as a whole. So here's what I'm saying. Ryan, we're not disagreeing. We're just saying it differently. I told you they are a good team, contending team. They just have underplayed themselves or got in their own way or the manager out, undermanaged, whatever you want to put it as. They are still a championship caliber team that have underperformed. And the next real quick, Matt Pat, before you say anything, you don't have a trophy, then you're the Pirates of the A's. That is bullshit. I'm going out there because this is it. Here it is. The Pirates and the A's have no chance. Right now, there's if you're a Pirates fan or an A's fan or any of them who are struggling as they are, or the Rockies. Let's take the Rockies for instance. There's no chance for them even to make the playoffs. That means they are not a chance to win a championship. I'm a believer in a chip in the chair type mentality. If you have a seat at the table, you have a chance. Okay. But right now, the Rockies have a cheeseburger on Pat's table's chance in hell of surviving and making to the playoffs. Okay. The Phillies have a very good chance to make to the playoffs. I do not want to see this team sit there and go, we'll just cruise to the playoffs. That's not what I'm saying at all. But I think they have some of the right pieces. And hey, right now, what we're about to talk about with Mick Abel, one of two things can happen with this Mick Abel thing. Well, more than two, but one of the two big things is he could be the next big thing for the Phillies in this year or coming years, or maybe he just does enough that the team sees that we can put him out there and trade his ass for a good piece of good missing piece or two in the bullpen, center field issue, whatever it is. I'm just that's we can find out shortly.
And Pat,
yes, sir.
You're talking about the Mets, right? You want to hear the list of teams they've played so far?
Good. Throw it on me.
They played Miami twice, Toronto, Oakland, Minnesota, which they lost 2-3. They did beat St. Louis in a 4-game set. Washington, Arizona. Let's see for this month. Again at St. Louis. This time they lost. Arizona, the Cubs, Pittsburgh, and now they're on to the Yankees. So
yeah, their stretches.
I mean, come on.
Their stretches are just flip flop from ours. We went a little heavier in the beginning of the season. They're going a little heavier now, and a couple months later. But that's what I'm trying to say. That's just baseball in a nutshell. From a scheduling standpoint, you're going to see these guys at one point. It's just when you're going to see them. How many times did we go 2 months before we played the Braves? Or months before we saw the Mets and we played the Nationals twice, or we played the Marlins twice. It's going to happen. You play who's in front of you, but it's about staying healthy. It's about playing better. And like I said, there's no team in my eyes right now in the MLB that is running away with it.
Yeah, I just looked at their schedule, upcoming. They got the Yankees, the Red Sox, and then they got the Yankees and Red Sox back to back, and then they got somebody else that's really good right after them. So, they got a tough 9-game stretch. But if you look in the middle of June, I just looked at their schedule. They literally have at Atlanta, at the Phillies, home for Atlanta. Then I think they got to go, it's at Atlanta, at Philadelphia. The Mets. It's at Atlanta, at Philadelphia, at Pittsburgh, and then they go home. They come home, play Atlanta again, and then they got the White Sox coming in.
Yeah, so again, like you said, they played the Yankees, or playing the Sox, or playing the Dodgers, right? But then they go on a little bit of a stretch where they're playing the White Sox. They play the Rockies, but then they're back to the Dodgers again. You play who's in front of you. In the end of the day, at the end of the season, I should say, you're playing the same amount of guys for the most part. You're playing the same amount of teams. You're playing those guys, and yeah, there's sometimes a little luck to the draw. I even said a little bit of you have two teams that we're playing against this weekend and then coming into next week that are both teams who have already fired their coaches, and we are not through May yet. They've already fired the coaches, and I kind of made a joke. I'm like, you know how these teams get? They what's it called? They get a new coach and they get on fire a little bit and they play better. I'm like, of course, before the Phillies play them, they're going to get their new coaches and they're going to play a lot better. So far, luckily, that hasn't played out in our favor. But my point is, you're going to play all these guys at the one point. Sometimes you get a little lucky if you hit the team when they're struggling. There's teams last year who probably played us in July who are happy they didn't play the Phillies in May.
Right. I don't know. Like I said, look, the Phillies are, like I said, right as of now. I can't tell you the future. I can't, but they're playing decent ball. As I said, there's some concerns. No, the major concern. Look, they're 27-18 and 1.5 games behind the Mets. A lot can change from here on out. But when I again circle back to Nola, when I look at them and figuring when they brought in Jesus Luzardo, I thought that would ante up his game a little bit. And if anything, I don't know if that's been a distraction because look at Wheeler's numbers, right? Just let alone yesterday, had 6 Ks, gave up 3 hits, a walk, but he's second behind Mackenzie Gore in strikeouts in the league. He has 80 strikeouts. He's doing so well, and Nola, like you said, now has to take a 2-week period to kind of get things right. I don't know if this is who he is, and he's an up and down guy.
See, this is how you know I got smart genes. Because look, my kid just posted right there. Look, way too much ball left. Nobody's in the rhythm yet, and it's true. Look at us last year. We were loving the beginning of the season, and what we kept saying, we're all waiting for the other shoe to drop, right? We're waiting for the other shoe to drop. This is too good to be true. You can't be winning like this. And what happened? They really went to they went to London and they were never the same team after they came back from London. To me, it's way too early. I'll worry about, positioning and where they got to go. I mean, yes, we're going to have to report on this and talk about it, but to me, I'm not worried. I mean, June is about to approach, and historically with this Phillies team, June has been their month. June into early July has been their time, and then they come back again towards the middle of August into September. So
yeah, and real quick, Ryan here. I'm going to kind of go with him, and I love what Ryan brings here. He goes, the guys, it's just not going to by this season. The last 4 years, hitters are very streaky and too hot and too cold. That's why they won't win a World Series. And he goes, he hopes he's wrong. And I said, and I'm going to agree with that. Listen, we have to know what we have seen so far. You're going to use the numbers. You're going to use the data that was in front of us to make these decisions or these assumptions. But again, to sit here and say they're not going to win a World Series is very easy because there's 32 teams in Major League Baseball. Well, guess what? You have a 1 in 32 chance of winning starting the season. Now your chances get a little higher as teams like the Pirates and the A's and the White Sox and all those guys start to kind of rear their ugly heads, and then it kind of drops to like 1 in 22. And then as you get closer to the postseason, that comes a 1 in 15 and so on and so forth. But the team has bucked some trends. I said bucked, Pat. Relax.
Yeah.
They have bucked some trends. And kind of what Mike kind of going against what Mike said a little bit here is the trend was, this team's they're gonna kind of just 500 their way through April and May, and then June's gonna come and they're gonna look really good like we've seen them do in past years. But Kyle Schwarber has been Kyle Schwarber since last June, right? Hasn't really let up on his Kyle Schwarberness right now. One thing I could say about this team is also bucked a little trends. Look at the numbers. They are there. They're not just swinging for the fences all the time. Do they get in their bad habits? Absolutely. Nick Castellanos, he kind of like every other night, I feel like he goes through like he goes like at 5 to 6, at bat struggles, 10 at bat struggles. He's swinging wildly at stuff way out of the zone or down in the dirt. So their tendencies are going to rear their ugly heads at times, but they are way more plate discipline. They have won a lot more games off the back of good base running and bloop singles. I mean, Bryce Harper just hit his 1,000th RBI, or just stroked his 1,000th RBI with a little bloop single to left field. Just a well-placed ball that, probably just came off the bat in the right way for the team. So, in my eyes, it's like that's what we've been asking for, and they're doing it so far. That's why I'm wondering why people are getting so upset. Again, we saw it last year. Pat, you said yourself, in May, we were like, we were just hoisting that trophy already. We were all placing our spots on Broad Street in May because by the beginning of June, this team was looking so red hot. And if they even did half of what they're doing now, they're going to be like a 700% winning team by that time. Well, guess what? Maybe that's better that they're not. I'd rather send Aaron Nola for a 2-week mental break stint now in May than have to worry about this come late August.
Oh, well, I get it, Mike.
I just want to say, like, the one trend that they're not bucking is runners in scoring position. Like they're still leaving a lot of guys on, and to me, that's my worrisome there. I feel like we need a little less pop in the lineup and a little more contact in the lineup. Now, I will say this: I've loved having Stott and Turner 1-2. Loved having that. I think that's really helped this team with them two at the top of the lineup. But I'm sorry, I want to see Bryson Stott every game at that leadoff position. Like, stop pulling him out. If you're going to give him a break, that's one thing. But like for him to pull him out every time there's a lefty on there, like he's not. I don't think that should be a position where they're rotating. To be honest with you, I feel like if you're going to rotate, what's his name, Sosa into the lineup, rotate him with Bohm.
Can I just also point something out?
Yep.
Runners in scoring position as of right now, as of right this moment, the Phillies are 6th place in the Major League Baseball from a batting average standpoint. From a batting average standpoint, just kind of looking at it that way, with runners in scoring position. They are at 258, which, listen, it's not great, but 271 is the number 1 spot with the Dodgers. 264 is the number 2 spot with the Cardinals. 263 is the number 3 spot with the Padres. 262 with the Yankees. The Tigers are at 259, and then the Phillies in 6 are 258. Okay? So, I mean, we are all ready to jump and say that this team isn't good. They do underperform at times. They do frustrate at times. Do not get me wrong on that. And I'm not looking past that this team is, I'm not sitting here telling you they're a deadpan lock to win the World Series. But to tell me that they're not in the conversation is wrong.
No, I mean, listen, you're right. Look, like I said, I think everyone in the room here can agree that Noah's a little bit of a has an issue going on. Get that fixed. Maybe the center field deficiency in with defense, whether Marsh or Rojas, guys are making a little bit mistakes out there, but their bats have been better. And I could be just saying that from a blind eye, but I think the Rojas's and I think Marsh's bats have been a little bit better than we're used to, especially Rojas.
I just sit here to say this about Nooms, man. I hope everything works out for you, buddy. This is. I don't know if you guys read this comment down here. Noom says, my property got struck by lightning on Friday. Shocked me right through my laptop. Fried my TV, son's PlayStation, thermostat, and pool pump. Get a surge protector, people. That's a breaker surge protector. I hope everybody's all right, man. Jeez.
Man.
What's up, Steve?
Steve. Joe, what's up, buddy?
What's up, Joey?
I haven't heard nothing about this. Have you?
No.
I haven't heard nothing about that.
I'll see if I'll look something up while you guys are checking that out.
But all right. So listen, look, and for everyone who's joined, this is PM and AM here in Sunday mornings at 9 a.m. Me, Mike, and Al Safiri doing the producing of the program. We just want to say, guys, if you like the content, please give It's a Ref Sports a follow on YouTube, Facebook, wherever you're checking in from. But yeah, Mick Abel makes his major league debut today. Mike, how you see this panning out today?
I love it for the kid. About time they brought him up and let him pitch. You know what I mean? I'd like to see more Phillies come up. Does Alec Boehm have any option rights? I mean, really, I would like to know if he has any option rights because I would love for them to bring up Otto Kemp. Dude is still raking. Dude is still raking down there.
Yeah.
So
yeah,
I'm not seeing anything on the Alvarado news, so I'll keep you up to date.
Yeah. See, Steve agrees with me.
Yeah, that's another thing. That's another. If you were to talk about my second most annoying Rob Thompson thing outside the bullpen situation, Steve, I agree with this. Just I really like the fact that they put Stott and they gave him the chance because Stott's been doing really well. I know he's struggling against certain pitching and all that stuff, but you gotta let him. How do you learn if you don't? I don't know. It's not like as bad as Brandon Marsh was or anything like that. But it's infuriating to me too. I wish they would just leave him be in there. I love the fact that you let him get on base. The guy's a contact hitter. He's got the speed. Trey Turner being behind him scares people because you got two guys who can do the job. Bryce Harper, that 1, 2, 3, 4 punch. If they're on, that's difficult, man. That is a tough.
I'll tell you what. I like it 9, 1, 2, 9 through 3. I think that's scary because you have Rojas at the end of the lineup, Stott, and then Turner. Like, that's a lot of speed on those bases.
You really have a lot of speed on this team. I mean, not so much Boehm and Castellanos, but outside of that, you really do have, decent to really good speed on the base paths either way.
Yeah, I'm liking that. And I feel like they should keep him there. As far as Mick Abel goes, I actually, if you guys follow the Lehigh Valley Iron Pigs, you can usually catch their games on YouTube or Twitter. That you can usually watch it. So
and MLB TV, it's on the. If you get download the MLB app, you could also get. I watched the Andrew Painter pitching performance the other day on that. It's usually free, even if you don't have a. You just have to make an account, but not a paid account.
Right, and you can watch their games. So, to me, why not? Like, I've been really looking down there because it's not just what's the guy, Gurriel Jr. or I believe that's his name. He was popping all the bombs in spring training, and then he ended up going down to Lehigh Valley. He's having a fantastic week himself up there, along with Otto Kemp. Our old boy Stubbsy, I think, has been doing a good job handling their pitching staff up there. So, I mean, everybody's saying, when the Phils lost the 2 out of 3, it says, don't worry, the Doctor of Vibes is coming back. I hope he spends the whole year up there, dude, to be honest with you. I don't want to see Garrett Stubbs back down here.
Yeah, well, and the kind of Mike says bullpen is ERA is 5.81, and I get it, but don't forget you had guys who had 12s in the beginning of the season, so it's a little bloated right now, and the bullpen has struggled. I mean, everybody at one point, so the bullpen remains the same as a bit of a. I'm more worried about the bullpen, I would say, still to this point, than I am actually worried about Aaron Nola.
Right. Well, you know what, I'm with you with that. I think I'm actually can't believe I'm in the same canoe with you. With you saying that, I think the bullpen's more concerned than Nola right now. I think Nola is going to get together. But yeah. Anyway, I want to say, I would thought, believe it or not, I've heard more negative feedback on this. Not to shift gears, about Rick Tocchet becoming the new Flyers head coach, and I'm hearing a lot of the boo birds. I'm pretty sure, Mike, I kind of heard, or Al, I heard you talk about this on the football stories. But I'm hearing a lot. Mike, I'm pretty sure you've heard at work. A lot of people not happy, just thinking this is a typical Flyers recycle.
Nah, you know what? I've actually heard some positive things from people I talk to who watch hockey. Because
yes, Ryan, yes, I did check out the Pittsburgh Zoo yesterday. I loved seeing those animals. Huge.
That's funny. The Pittsburgh Zoo animals just sent us a letter, so they love seeing the animal we sent to them. So that's cute.
Yeah, they said please keep your.
They just called. They just said they called. They said he ate all their feed.
Yeah. Pat's over there getting ready to fist fight an ostrich for some bird feed. Yeah. But no, as far as Tocchet goes, man, I think it was a good hire. And I know a lot of people are going to go, oh, he's a former Flyer. Yeah. Back up on that for a second. He was on Tampa Bay. He was an assistant coach with Tampa when they won their cups. Okay. He was an assistant coach. He just was in Vancouver. Or before that, he was in Arizona. He turned a bunch of nobodies into a playoff team, where they made the playoffs in Arizona. Okay, then he leaves there. He goes to Vancouver. The Vancouver team had 109 points. Like, I'm sorry. I love the hiring of it. Yeah, he didn't win the Holy Grail, but he had 109 points. It took Vancouver into the playoffs. I'm sorry. Like, yeah. I kind of
they lost in the second round when 2023.
Yeah. Listen, I'm not happy about it. He sucks. He only has 2 playoff chance. Made 2 playoff runs. That was it. We're not talking yet. Was he assistant coach with the Penguins? Yes, he did. What did he say in this press conference? He's hoping that his knowledge that he's picked up from everywhere else he's been, and he could bring it into his locker room. What has he been known for as a communicator? I'm not happy with the move. I'm sorry. I'm not jumping up and down on my seat.
So who did you want? So who did you want? The guy that Pittsburgh let go?
Yes.
Of course. And you're a moron because you always
want that guy. I am a moron.
You always want that guy. You always want that guy.
He's a winner. That's what we need here. We need a winner, Mike.
Dan Boswell won just as many cups as Sullivan has.
The minute he got let go, the Rangers opened up the checkbook and said, sign it. Why did Danny Briere?
Because they're a desperate organization.
The Flyers are a desperate organization.
No, they're not.
No. You're wrong on that one.
You're wrong on this one.
That's the difference. The Rangers think they're in a fighting chance. They brought somebody in who thought it would bring them to that step above to the next step to that championship caliber. The Phillies know that, or not the Phillies. The Flyers know that they're not there yet. So
yeah, I mean that's why. Think about it. They're basically telling you we're still in a rebuild. We still have more work to do.
Come on. I'm not a Penguins fan.
Yes, you are. You were having lunch with Sidney Crosby yesterday in Pittsburgh. Let me guess. How many Permane brothers sandwiches were you stuffing in your face?
It doesn't matter. I lost count, all right?
Let's see. Yeah. But I'm being dead serious. Like, as far as like everybody wants to, oh, this is the same old, this is the same old Flyers hiring within. Why? Because Tocchet played for the Flyers. I mean, dude, he played for Pittsburgh just as much as he played for us. Like, seriously, he really did. He played for Pittsburgh just about as long as he played for us.
He started here. I get it. He's been here since '83. He finished out '92 and then finished out his career back in '99 and the early 2000s. But I just don't see a bona fide winner in Rick Tocchet. I just don't see it. He's not a winner to me.
Oh, whoa, hold on. Let me just back this up. Is Rick Tocchet on the ice?
No, he's the coach.
You can't listen. I'm not sitting here telling you he's the right pick. I'm not telling you he's the wrong pick. I can get why people are gun shy of having another ex-Flyer in the house because it just seems like the same old, same old. I get that. But I'm also not going to write a guy off based on that. At this point, it's like he's the Flyers coach. It's signed, deal, and the deal is signed and delivered, buddy. There's no way around it. So I'm giving the guy a chance. Maybe he is what the doctor ordered, or maybe because obviously, I mean, Pat, let's roll the clock back for a little bit here. I remember you telling me the same outlook on having a certain previous Flyers head coach here when he first came here, Mr. John Tortorella. Oh my God, he's the wrong guy. He's not fit for this team. Blah blah blah. And then maybe a year or two later, you're telling me I was wrong. He was the right guy for it. Here, I don't know. He's been really made me eat my crow. And then again, the end of this season, you're back to where you were. We don't know.
I just don't like it. I just and here, I mean, like you're right. Did I complain about Tortorella being here? But if you look back at it too, Al, he was the last guy off the picking tree. Tortorella's never going to get another head coaching job. He might be a analyst somewhere. Oh God. And by
the way, just so you know, the Pittsburgh Zoo did call, and Pat is a Penguins fan. They caught him trying to eat one.
Hey, listen, I'll swallow. Never mind.
Jesus God.
No, but John Tortorella, I just don't see it. I just don't see. I mean, I'm sorry, Rick Tocchet. I just don't see. I need a guy who's going to be turning around this franchise. And again, if this doesn't work out in a 2-3 year window, my finger is not coming at him. It's going to above him at Danny.
Okay, hey Pat, listen. You want to hear how many?
I'm not flip-flopping again, Adam.
Yes, you are. You're a fish out of water. You want to hear how many former Flyers right now are who are head coaches? Okay, Craig Berube. Okay, you remember Alain Vigneault? He was here. Okay, let's see. I'm going to go down. I'm sorry, Jim Montgomery. He's a former Flyer / Phantom. Okay, he's a head coach. You have Tortorella, who was with us. Let me keep going here. Rod Brindamore. Remember that guy? Yeah, he's about to go to the Eastern Conference Final. Peter Laviolette. Oh, that's right. No, he used to be in New York.
Yeah, he sucked there.
Yeah, okay, but look, there's five former connections right there to the Flyers organization that I just named you. And
okay, AV don't have a job. Greg Berube, yes, I'll give you that one. Shine once he left here.
Laviolette doesn't have a job. Neither does AV now.
AV.
And okay, but here's the thing: like, you get mad because they're former Flyers. Like, dude, Tocchet had his pick, dude. This is what you don't understand. He had his pick. He could have went anywhere. He could have went to Pittsburgh. They're looking for a head coach. Okay?
Yes, they are.
Do you think they got more talent than the Flyers do at this moment in time?
No, because they're in rebuild mode.
They're not in rebuild mode. They just had they got hit with an injury bug pretty bad this year. So that job's more appealing. They had who's the other one? Chicago's is definitely more appealing than the Flyers. Okay. There was he was the hottest commodity coach right now. Okay, to come out. And he chose to come to the Flyers. The Flyers were like the second team to interview him. And he interviewed with 7 teams.
Yeah, and Mike, and this is where you and I are going to agree. I mean, Owen Tippett, Mitchkov, and Konecny. Where else is a winner on this team? and I know they need a defenseman. They need goaltending. This team, and it's the same, go around. Oh, we're a 2-3 year window. We're a 2-3 window. How many years? When are we going to start building? When are we start adding? How's he going to start?
Matt, they got to have numbers come off their books. Okay.
Yes. Yes.
The previous regimes put in some pretty bad and awful contracts. They got to clear up cap space. That's what they're doing, man. I think the Flyers are going to be major players, but like when we looked at this, listen, you cannot be angry at Jones and Briere. They told you we are tearing this down. We're tearing it down and building it back up. Like, how many years did we go through with, the Flyers don't rebuild, they just retool? Well, finally, we had somebody to come in and go, listen, we're doing it wrong with this retooling. We got to break it down. And that's what they're doing. Like, you can't get mad at them they're being honest with the people. Like, they could have sat there and kept saying, oh, no, we're retooling, and secretly breaking it down. Like some other, they're being honest with the fan base. Yes, but ultimately, it comes back to some of these younger, good talents that we have that we've been drafting. They got to step up.
Right. They do. They definitely need to step up here, and I'm with you. Maybe I need to see Forrester, the groups, and like I said, I think to me, if anybody's earned the job, would be Ian Pierre. I think he's earned it. Again, he's done a magical work with the Phantoms. I would love at least that with the inner end. If you're going to go to Flyers realm, that guy should definitely deserve it. I mean, he took the Phantoms now back-to-back playoffs, a little deeper.
Sometimes when you do so good at your job, Pat, which I know this is a foreign concept to you right now.
Right, yes.
When you do so good at your job that people don't want to replace you. Some people like, oh, let's move him up. And they're like, well, who do we replace him in that part of the organization for and listen, the Flyers are putting probably more stock in the head coach of the Phantoms in their developmental leagues versus their head coach right now. I'm not saying more stock, but trying to put as much stock into that as much as they are the Flyers head coach. But it like I said, I know Brindamore is a big name that people really wanted to see. There's no reason to say that we can't get him. I doubt they're going to fire Tocchet after 1 year, depending on how well he plays. But I'm willing. Like, listen, at this point, I would have preferred a young up-and-coming guy who played to get behind one of these hot teams, in the NHL over the last 10 years, and got a guy that was on the bench for one of them who was just looking for their next, their break. But we'll find out. Like, the time will tell. Like, I just don't get upset about these things like people do over just ridiculousness.
Now, Ryan says we should wait to pay Brindamore. I don't know. I don't think Brindamore. I don't think Brendan's going to be going anywhere anytime soon.
I tell you what. I still think if we're going to talk hockey, we're talking pucks right now. I'm going to be real honest with you. I think the best team left in this tournament is Dallas. I think Dallas is winning it all.
I agree. I think they're a sleeper.
No, not a sleeper. I picked them. They were my cup final was them in Washington, and Washington pooped the bed and got booted out. So, I think Dallas is winning the whole thing. I think they're going to hoist their cup this year.
Me and Papernick actually agree. He says the Flyers are as bad as the 76ers organizations. He goes, there's other people chiming in I'm trying to get to and trying to get all caught up here. But because here goes Philly podcast. He goes, because coaching is one of the scapegoat management has been used for 15 years.
Flyers haven't developed
now, you know what, Philly. No, I don't. I wish I touched this stuff, but I don't. I'll be honest with you. People are just. We are so high. We are so high strung as a fan base over the dumbest shit. I'm just going to throw it out there. Like, I'm not going to get upset over Rick Tocchet being the coach right now because maybe Rick Tocchet is the next big thing. Maybe he isn't. I don't know. We can't make that decision based off a hire. Now, if there's other hiring options out there that look better on paper, I go back to the Chip Kelly hiring. Chip Kelly was the sexiest hiring out there when the Eagles were out there trying to find a new coach, and he just, that just blew up in their face. He was supposed to bring the NFL to the next level or evolution or whatever, and that didn't happen. And actually, he was out of the league. Now he's back in the league as an offensive coordinator. So I'm just calm down. I'll get annoyed with it when the annoyance occurs.
Yeah, but Al, you can't say that. I mean, you go off his resume, don't you? He's only made 2 playoff appearances as a head coach out of
Well, if you go off everybody's resume, then nobody's getting a chance. How do you, like that's my point is how do you know like what's going to be the best thing for them until you give them a chance, Pat? Like I'm not saying that Tocchet is the guy. I'm not saying he's not the guy. The Flyers see something that he can bring to the organization. I gotta trust him with what we can with this right now. I don't like this. I see Ryan in here. I'm going to talk about it in a second.
Yeah.
I don't like this switching coaches at all. And I know this is always like the kind of the Flyers fallback comment is the Flyers haven't developed a young goalie since Lindbergh or Hextall.
Yeah.
And I get it. Like, look at it. Everybody was thought Ron Hextall was going to do great. Look at what Ron Hextall did with the LA Kings. And he came in here and what did he do for us?
Sucked.
Exactly. And he brought in Hackstall.
Yeah. Yes.
So resumes be damned. I mean, like, listen, Rob Thompson, right? May not have loved him, but what did his head coaching resume look like before he started coaching for the Phillies?
Good point.
Okay. Since he's been coaching, he's made it to the playoffs every year. He's been in a World Series one time, and he's got one of the best winning percentages of active coaches and Phillies coaches of all time. But we want to fire him.
Hold on. Al, I got another one. How about Nick Sirianni? Where was he?
We wanted him fired
last year
of a World Series of a Super Bowl run.
Yes.
I mean,
so I mean, you can't just sit back and this whole notion with Tocchet is
good point, Mike, Mr. Papernick. Good point.
Oh, stop! They so overpaid for Mr. Potato Head. It's not even funny. Like that. Can you imagine that? That will go down as the biggest fleece robbery of all time. Okay, that Eric Lindros trade. They gave up so much. Think of who would have been on the Flyers in that trade. We would have kept Mike Ricci. We would have kept Ron Hextall. We would have kept Terry Huffman. We would have kept what was the defensive Steve Duchesne. We would have kept him. We would have had Peter Forsberg. You would have had Chris Simon on your team. Can you imagine Chris Simon being your guy to go out there and knock people out? Come on. And what did we get? We got Mr. friggin' Potato Head.
Mr. Holland from the 302 Birds checking in.
What's up, buddy? Give me a break with that. You guys all look back at Eric Lindros as this
the greatest player, and he was the
Eric Lindros is the Flyers' Allen Iverson in my eyes.
No,
that's how he kind of like how people forget like what it was dealing with them at the time. Everybody has a revisionist history with Lindros. Like, listen,
I hated the trade.
What him and Iverson did, but we forget the headaches that we had with them. And I am chill. I'm the most chill person about baseball because I understand Broken Bell Network that it is a 162 game season. And yes, you're going to stop mud holes in AAA teams because that's what good teams do. And you're going to play well when it comes up against the really good teams. And that's what they have done so far. I do not. You want to see me lose my mind? Watch a Phillies playoff game with me. Mike Lauro can contest to this.
Yes. It's very funny. It's very entertaining. I was about to record it and put it online. It's the funniest thing ever. But no, I mean, like I love the revisionist history. Like the best trade. You want to bring up a trade that was really good? They shipped Mark Recchi to Montreal. And they got John Leclerc, Eric Desjardins, and Gilbert Dion.
Yes.
And I thought, to be honest with you, I thought Leclerc was a throw-in because you got Desjardins and Dion. Dion was like a 50-goal scorer or 40-goal scorer with Montreal. He came here and did nothing with the Flyers. And Leclerc ended up being – that was the deal of the 90s right there, was Mark Recchi going up there for them three. Okay?
Yeah.
It wasn't trading – for Lindros. Lindros was the worst trade ever in Flyers history.
Oh, well, that's a little bullish, but
it's the worst trade ever for what they gave up. And dude, the picks that they gave up, one of them was Adam Deadmarsh. Do you think they would have won a cup with him here?
Forsberg. Don't forget
Forsberg. I mean, come on, dude. They had go back and look at. Here's your assignment, Pat, for the week.
Yes.
Look up the Eric Lindros trade and everything the Flyers gave up and who those players end up becoming.
Yeah.
The Flyers would have had 2 cups here. Dude, we wouldn't be talking about 50 years. Okay?
But he was the pre-Ovechkin before Ovechkin. You know what I mean? Like
what did he get us? He was a Mr. Potato Head. He's Mr. Potato Head. I will never ever forgive him for number one. You're playing the Devils, okay, and you had a 3-1 lead in 2000. They had a 3-1 lead on the Devils. What game 6 or game 5 at home? Game 5 at home. You're putting them away.
Really?
What's he do? Oh, let me. Here we go. And then sit there. They play tight. Boom.
Yeah. Well, first of all, Broken Bell Network. Really, Papelbon, you're gonna put him in the mix? You're really gonna
put him in the mix? Like, listen, no, I got really good players that they traded for or brought in who didn't live up to the love that everybody gave them. Like I said, I loved AI with this, AI that, but people forget that the ownership of the Sixers, Pat Croce, had to come up to him and say, I have a trade in order in front of you. If you don't knock your shit off, I'm trading you away. He literally had to be told that.
Yeah. And, this thing here, too, with Broken Belt, he said the Eagles had T.O. I'm sorry. I will never say that was a bad thing for the Eagles. That's, how he came about being an Eagle. And that dude went out and played with a broken ankle with screws in his ankle and still outperformed every receiver on that field with a broken ankle. Like, no, to me, if you want to do what was a big signing that panned out to nothing, that's Nasi Amnawa, the cornerback. Asamoah was with the Raiders, was intercepting every ball that was thrown his way. All of a sudden, he comes here. He's got 2 left feet for hands.
Dominic Rogers-Cromartie. That's all.
Yeah, another one.
97 kids, but nothing else to show for it. Guys, this is the part of the show where I will be stepping out and leaving the reins to Mike and Pat. So whatever happens from here, I cannot be held responsible for.
All right, Pat. I'll take over the producing, Pat. So you go right ahead.
All right, well, listen, guys, we appreciate the content. Guys, that was our man, Al. I hope Al gets lost in the sauce somewhere. No, he does a great job producing the program. This is the It's a Wrap PM and the AM on the It's a Wrap Sports Network. Again, if you guys like the content, please give us a follow and subscribe to all the It's a Wrap Sports Network. Again, Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, Twitch, you name it, we're everywhere.
Pat, before we click over, we got to let people know. Tonight, make sure you tune in. The final word, that's right, 10 o'clock tonight. Our boy Matty B will be on. He will be probably going back at us and Al from what we said here this morning.
Yes.
So make sure you guys tune in tonight, 10 p.m. for the final word with our Commander-in-Chief there, Matthew B. And again, can't get enough of Matty B because he will be covering the Fightins final today. So make sure you guys definitely look out for that. And this is our upcoming schedule this week. Matty's pulling 3 days in a row. No wonder why he's out to a 13-5 record. This guy's doing triples.
Yes.
So you have Matty tomorrow, Steve Tuesday. You are on Wednesday, sir, and I am on Thursday for this upcoming week. And, of course, I think there's another show that's been popping around on Saturday or on Friday nights at 10:30.
Yes. Me after dark.
Some handsome devil there. This photo says,
you're pushing it.
Yeah, but I'll tell you what. Let's move on. We had some big news. Real quick, we're just going to touch the 76ers real quick, Pat. I got a question for you.
Yeah.
Do they pick at number 3 or do they trade it away?
I think they're going to stay put. I would love to see them move up in the draft. Again, they need a bona fide center. I don't want a wing defender. I don't want a point guard. You need something to replace Joel Embiid. You're not going to get listen to Daryl Morley a couple weeks ago saying we're going to run with the same big 3. The same big 3 you had last year held you from getting to the playoffs. That's the same big 3 prevent you. A washed up Paul George, a washed up, and listen, Mike, going to give you your flowers. You said it right 4 years ago. Get rid of Embiid now while there's value. And everybody on earth looked at you nuts. But at the end of the day, you're right. You're screwed now because you gave this guy a lump sum hand of money, signed into a deal.
They re-signed him. That's what killed me. Like they gave him another max contract. I'm like, what are you doing?
He
like,
cannot stay healthy. And this year proved it. I think I've seen him in 15 games on the floor.
Dude, it's only going to get worse with him.
It's only going to get worse.
It's only, and you know what, Paul George, like, I'm going to be honest with you. If I'm the Sixers, I'm trying to move him somewhere. You know, Clippers wanted him back, like, because rumor has it the Clippers were kind of like they still kind of want him to come back. Like, let's work out a deal.
But I didn't see, and any Sixer fan would tell you, I didn't see the excitement for the old names that they had in here, the Paul Georges, the Eric Gordons. Like, if they haven't caught it by now, if you look at the NBA playoffs now, it's the young cats, the Clevelands, the Pacers, the Knicks, the OKCs of the world. Like, they got the young names out there. The young incumbents, they're not looking for the old flashy names anymore. Look how that panned out for the Lakers, right? They had LeBron, they had Luka, and guess where they're out of the playoffs? Minnesota in there. You know what I mean? You have these young names. They're so much better, you know, the up and comings, and these guys still ride off the old merchandise names because obviously to sell the merch. It's not going to get you anywhere when you can't make it to the playoffs. So
yeah, I mean, if you're looking at this, dude, like right now you're looking Eastern Conference Final. Who would have thought Pacers and Knicks? Talk about a rivalry renewed, right?
Yes.
Yeah, you know, I'm not a big NBA guy, and I've never claimed to be an NBA. I will follow the Sixers, but I'll tell you what: when I did watch basketball a whole ton, Knicks and Pacers were it, man. And now you're looking. Go ahead, buddy.
No. Like, doesn't it bother you, Mike? Well, I don't know if it bothers you as much, but I had this thought. I told this to Steve. You know, I enjoy the NBA playoffs now and the NHL playoffs now that the Sixers and Flyers are not causing me any kind of stress. Like, I'm sitting there and just enjoying talent versus talent on the ice or on the court. Like, I'm not like scratching and saying this was a waste of a season because the Flyers and Sixers are just so far away from being a contender. Like, I'm able to enjoy just watching talent on the floor itself and just really kick back and enjoy this stuff.
Yeah, I mean, for me, I'm always the hockey guy. Like, I think that there's no better playoff than NHL. And I'm talking about, and the thing is, every round's a best of 7. Like, there isn't no best of 5. I mean, like, I'm waiting for the NBA to go to a best of 3 to start it.
Well,
like, you know, like, I'm really, because, like, they do so much minimal. It's like, what's it, best of 5, then it goes best of 7? Like,
well, yeah, well, no, they've no, it's now it's a little weird. Like that, there's the round in tournaments where the top 10 of 8, the 7, 8, 9, 10 teams play each other in a little tournament, and then it goes into the best of 7s. But listen, NBA and NHL tonight again. It's kind of have your day made. You get to watch the Phillies NBA playoffs start. The best of 7. Game 7 night.
Yeah,
Nuggets and Thunder. And then you go right into Toronto versus the Panthers tonight.
You know what? I can't wait for that because I cannot wait to see Toronto choke at home. Like,
oh my gosh.
There is
if that happens again.
Oh, that is going to be great. I want to watch this game so bad because I want to watch them choke it away. I'm going to watch them choke it away tonight because they are. You want to talk about a fugazi franchise? Okay, the Toronto Maple Leafs. They have a great fan base. I'm not going to lie to you. I think their fan base is really great. But that group, you want to talk like you want to get on the Flyers for not go try being a Toronto fan. Like they haven't won something. I think it was like 40. I can't remember the last time they won the Stanley Cup.
Right. Yeah, dude. I'm telling you, if they lose tonight, they are the Sixers. They can't get past the second round, which obviously I don't know if it's going to ask a lot of Toronto fans like, "What's up with Austin Matthews? You're the star of the team, but we can't climb over the second round. Why?" You know what I mean? There's going to be big questions to come out if they don't win tonight. But Mike, let's fast forward a little bit. Eagles schedule is officially out, and so again, I talked with some people. I'm not happy opening the night against the Cowboys, and I'll tell you why. And I'll tell you why.
Okay,
and I talked to a good buddy of our show, a good friend of ours, Joe Sullivan, about it. Like, he's excited for it. He wants to put the banner down in front of the Cowboys. The Cowboys to me are not an appealing team anymore. I'd rather see it open up with the Commanders or the Lions to get that, two teams that were a NFC contender team, or the Rams even. Anyone besides the Cowboys are just not relevant to me anymore.
Here, I'm going to put the schedule up.
There you go. Even better.
We can take a look at this together, Pat. I wanted the Dallas Cowboys to open up. I was on Patterson Avenue Sports Show last Saturday, and our good buddy Joey Marks asked me. He said, "Hey, Mike," he goes, "if you had your druthers, who would you want to open up?" Now, him and James both wanted Washington, which to me makes a lot of sense. But you know what? No, I wanted the Dallas Cowboys. You know why I want the Dallas Cowboys? Because two very reasons. One, we get to drop the banner at home, and it's against our most hated rival. I wanted the Cowboys. You want to know why? Because that Eagles team's going to send a message right from the gate. Anybody who thinks, and I'm sorry, I'm going to say this now. This is May 18th. I am putting it out there. Barring injury, if it's the two teams lining up healthy week one, the Eagles are going to blow them out. It is not going to be close. Now, with that being said, do I think Dallas is going to be a better team than they were a year ago? I believe that. But here's the thing. You got a new head coach. You got new pieces coming in. I'm sorry. Dak's not going to drop back and throw for 400 yards with George Pickens, for that first game. Like, they are literally coming to the Eagles at the right time. Game. Go ahead.
No, it's funny you say that. So, again, I talked to a buddy of ours, Matt Klein, and he thinks the Cowboys are going to win, only because he thinks the Eagles are going to be too distracted with the banner, and they're going to be coming in bellies full instead of being hungry to go for the repeat.
All right, yeah. Steve checked that. Said they haven't won since '67, so that's been a longer drought than the Flyers.
Wow.
Yeah. The Eagles are the first NFL team in history to have to play 10 playoff teams after winning a Super Bowl. Like, this schedule's brutal, dude. Like, I'm not going to lie.
Oh yeah, yeah. Listen, they line themselves up. I mean, you're the champions.
I'm going to be real honest with you. If you go down this list, their first loss, I gave them at Minnesota. That's their first loss from me. Like, really? I'm sorry. Yes, everybody's so scared about them going to Arrowhead. Well, the last time I remember, they went to Arrowhead on a Monday night. Just the year after they played the Chiefs in the Super Bowl, they went back. You remember they started off 10-1 before the collapse? Well, their 10th win came on Monday Night Football in Arrowhead. So they've beaten the Chiefs in Arrowhead before. Like, it's not a something that's outlandish.
No, you're right. It's not a Lions den anymore with the KC. I think that, like you said, I think they could go into Kansas City and handle business.
Right, and here's the thing. The Rams, I'm sorry. The Rams, I think they'll match up a little better this time against the Eagles, with them getting Devontae Adams, to be opposite of Puka Nacua. So, yeah, they can run the football, and they have a decent defense. I think if the Eagles do slip up within the first 4 weeks, it might be that Rams game. But I think with it being here, you have a West Coast team traveling to the East Coast, and they're playing a 1 o'clock start. That never bodes well for the West Coast team. Never. That's why I got the Eagles winning that game. This Tampa game, I think the Eagles are going to be out to prove a point that they can go down and beat that team, because the last two times they were in Tampa, they've gotten embarrassed.
Right. That's a revenge factor.
Right. And then same thing. Denver coming in that following week, they got to go West Coast, the East Coast. They got to come in and play this Eagles team at a 1 o'clock. That's a disadvantage. Then they go to the Giants. I'm sorry, I'm not sold on the Giants at all. I think it's going to take them time to get their crap together, like I said with the Cowboys. So the Minnesota game, the only reason I have that as a loss is that they never play well in Minnesota. I mean, other than when we won the Super Bowl, but that wasn't against the Vikings. That was against
Well, the first time in Minnesota came down here, but yeah, I think by that second Giants game, I think the Giants will be making the quarterback switch to the young kid that he just drafted.
Yep, I think so too. I think Jackson Dart will be taken over by that game. Again, that's a 1:00 game here in late October. And then you have the bye. Now, to me, this is where these two games here, I'm not sold on Green Bay. I think we have their number. Even what they've done, I just think we have their number. They can't stop the run, so I got them winning in Green Bay. This game right here, this Sunday night game to me is a toss-up with me. It really is.
Yes.
I think it's a toss-up because the Lions are a good football team, but again, we have to wait and see how everything plays out. Like right now, Pat, I'm gonna tell you, I got them going 12-5, and I'll give you the losses. My first loss was Minnesota. Second loss is Detroit. Third loss is Washington here, and then we beat Washington. By the time we get to this final game, I think the Eagles will have the division wrapped up, and that's why.
I know. Listen, if he's still watching the program, he might be calling me a homer, but it's all right. You know what? Like I look up till the bye, I don't really see maybe one loss, and that's like I said, going based off paper, and if they're healthy, the Rams may be the only team that can give this team a run up until the bye. I mean, because we just mentioned.
I think I'm not sold on this. I think they could like this game in the sandwich game between the Commanders. I'm going to be honest with you. I think the Eagles can go into Buffalo and beat Buffalo. Like it's not outrageous.
No, and this is that might be another loss again. Buffalo's usually in Buffalo mode and playoff mode by then. Washington, it's a little late to the season. I would like to see them a little early, but we got to see where we're at as far as both.
Well, you got to see where they're at. You got to see where they're at.
Right.
Like I don't think Washington. Like you look at some of the moves they made. I think they kind of lost some pieces on defense. They've added some offense with Deebo Samuel being brought in. I just think they kind of lost some. They lost some defensive pieces, and they really couldn't stop Saquon Barkley last year. Oh, and here's the thing, too. This is what again, two people were talking about. Oh, well, like I saw somewhere somebody had the Eagles at like 10-7 and coming in second in the division. I was like, what crack are you on? Like, these defenses are going to have to try to gear up to stop this Eagle offense. Oh, by the way, when you get tired of having Saquon Barkley pound you, okay, guess who's coming in right behind him? A.J. Dillon.
Right.
Who's a bigger back. You know why they went and got A.J. Dillon? In case they banned the tush push. Because guess what? You banned the tush push, now you give it to the big 235-pound back who can drag people into the end zone. Okay.
Like, it's gonna be hard. You know what I mean? It's going to be hard for, like I said, that's why, like I said, at best, I see maybe 4 losses, if that.
I got them 12. Me too, Pat. I'm like 13-4, 12-5, because somewhere on this game, and I'm not going to know who, but there's going to be a game where the Eagles that we picked them to lose, that they're going to win, and there's going to be a game on there we picked them to win that they're going to lose.
And
it happens every year. So,
right, that trap game might be like the Bears or the Chargers, something like that. That might be the trap game. But like I don't want to be a homer, but man, this team is going to do things. Papernick is checked in.
Oh yeah, he said no. He said no back-to-back home games this season, which I find that ironic because if you look at this schedule, they go, it's home, away, home, away, home, and then it's away, home, then a bye. And then literally as you're going down the list for the second half, it's literally away, home, away, home, away, home, away, home. Like, it's crazy about how they do that. So, but I will say this. If you're looking at it, the only time really that the Eagles have to go, they only have to get on a plane twice. Really, if you look at you like to go west, they only have to go they got to go to Dallas right before Thanksgiving, and then they got to go the beginning of December. They fly out to Cali. Other than that, everything is really kind of close by. They have the Raiders that come in after that. a bus trip to Washington, okay, a short flight to Buffalo, and then Washington comes here. So like they only have to get on a plane really 1, 2, 3 times really like after
Right.
the Green Bay trip's probably about 2 hours. 2 hours or something, but Mike said, I'm not sold on Dylan because of his neck. I'm sold on him because he passed the physical. So if he passed the physical, I'm sold on him. I can't evaluate this without seeing other teams' schedules and what they're coming off of. Well, I'll tell you this much. Dallas's back half is brutal if you haven't had a chance to go see that. He said, also, what's your feeling on the Eagles' number 3 position? I think they should just leave it alone and let Jahan Dotson play out his final year. I'm a very big Dotson guy. So, I have him going 12-4, or I'm sorry, 13-4, maybe 12-5 for this, Patrick. But
same. I got him going 14-4.
No, it would be 14-3 if you did that.
Oh, wait.
They play 17 games, buddy. Jesus God. So, Pat, you ready to take this home, buddy?
Oh yeah, let's take it home.
Right. What is your meal for the day? And guys, what are you guys making out there for your 1:00 Philly start or 1:35 Philly start while they watch them? We're gonna watch them sweep out the Buccos. What are you making, Patrick? Or I should say what's Mo making?
Yes. It depends what Mo wants to make. I'm promising you, it's not gonna be anything. No pasta, just raviolis, probably.
No pasta, just raviolis. Yeah, Pat, you do realize that's a pasta, right?
Oh.
I'm actually doing a. We're going to be doing a chili cheese like nacho type thingamajiggy that the wife wants to do. So we're gonna. I'm gonna go. I bought this super giant can of it's chili. So we're gonna make it some type of dip that we can dip in, and that's what that's gonna be our / dinner for the evening. Brunch, between brunch and dinner, that's going to be our thing. But I definitely am looking forward to. I'm definitely looking forward to the Game 7 of hockey tonight. Again, guys, if you are a fan of hockey, make sure if you want to see, you think the Flyers fan base is bad and suffering. Wait till you watch tonight when you see. Hey, look who's back.
A lot of people checking in on YouTube.
On. Okay, here we go. Who will be the opposite linebacker of Braun? To be honest with you, I think it's going to be Trot. To start out. He said he's having. There you go. I cannot wait, Pat. Next week. Oh my God, dude. I'm going to buy so much meat. Your mouth's going to drool because we got to break it out. Next week is Memorial Day weekend, so I will be grilling.
Yes.
Brian, what's going on, buddy? Nice to have you back. You found us.
What's up? Yes. You got to hear from Brian.
I like Ace Bailey. I think he can help the Sixers. I think they should draft that kid. And Hubert Gaffney says, and let's pro removal as he gets propped up by MLB schedule.
And he said, let's go make a.
Oh, Thompson. No, he said, and yeah. Okay. Well, guys, listen, you found us. We're here every Sunday morning. It's nice to see some old faces coming back in here, some new faces. Guys, if you're watching us on YouTube, like, share, subscribe it. It doesn't cost nothing. It's free. He goes, and you'll really be helping us out. Tell your friends. Sunday mornings will never be the same with me, this knucklehead over here, okay? And, of course, Al, who had to abruptly leave. He fulfilled his hour. He had to go do something. So, guys, make sure you check us out. Oh, wait a minute. Thank you, Michael.
Thanks,
we got to check in from Vegas. That's right. Our boy, Rob Hefner. Vegas Rob in the house. Make sure. What's going on, Rob? This is love you guys.
Herb.
You too, Herb. Go Phillies. Guys, listen, we've been on for an hour and 20. We're going to go and you guys enjoy the rest of your Sunday. Pat, again, Pat's not having pasta. He's just having raviolis. Me, I'm doing the chili. I'm going to do a chili dip for today. And hopefully you guys have everything. Make sure you check us out. We will be, again, Maddie B is tonight, the final word, starting at 10:30. Make sure, or is it 10 or 10:30 now, Pat?
Yeah, he's at 10. He's at 10
still
o'clock.
sorry, so he's still staying at 10. Okay, I always get it messed up. There it is right there, 10 o'clock. So make sure you're there, and of course, covering today, you will get one Matthew B, or as we call him, King Matt here. Make sure you tune in to the Fighting's Final. He does this segment called Down on the Farm. It is awesome. Make sure you guys check in for that. So, for my co-host, Pat Bedard, our other co-host, Al Safiri, I am Mike Lauro. Take care, guys, and we will see you next week.